Alright, let's go over the Tesla trade this week. It is December 4th, and the bulk of this Tesla trade was acquired between November 23rd and November 30th. So, let's see. We started getting Tesla on this date right here when it pulled back to the 21st, 21 EMA. It seemed like it was holding, and it was set up for another push higher, at least to the previous highs, which were around 1240. We added a call debit spread at 805, for 805, at 1250 and 1215. And that was the first trade we initiated, and that was on the 23rd. The second trade I got into was on the 29th. So it pulled back, it held the 21, and then it seemed like it was ready to push back up to the highs again. So we got in for another call debit spread at 1150 and 1115 at a price of 750. This one was going to expire on the 3rd, so we didn't really give ourselves too much time, simply because we thought it was about to explode. It seemed like the momentum was shifting back up to the back to the upside, and it had a black squeeze on there. The previous trade, the first trade we got into, was set to expire on the monthly December 17th. The second one was on December 3rd, and then we got a pullback on December 1st, which, if you look at the S&P, it started to pull back on the 30th. No, it started to pull back on the 26th. But all throughout this pullback, Tesla stayed bullish. It didn't actually falter. So, after the fear of the market kind of pushed all the stocks down because of Omicron and the Powell speeches, Tesla stayed put at the 21. This was a good bullish signal, so I added to the position, and then added again on the 30th, which is this day right here. On the 30th, let's see, the SPY really pulled back, but Tesla actually went up higher. So that was a very bullish signal. We added a put credit spread and we bought it at 220 at 1120, 1125. So initially it was a good trade. Even the next day, Tesla gapped up a little bit higher, and it seemed like it was about to make a move higher, while the S&P was completely sucking wind. It was just going straight down. and then Tesla just kind of went along with the market and rolled over. The structure fell. It gave up the 21. You had two closes below the 21, which is this one and this one, and that's when I closed all the positions on it. In hindsight, I would have put less risk on the table. I was looking for a big win on this trade, and it didn't play out like that. So it ended up costing me a good chunk of my portfolio. So that's a good lesson for next time. Don't don't go over 10% on on your portfolio. Just stay around 5%, 5 to 7. If mm, yeah, that's probably the best case scenario. Don't go over 10% on your portfolio anymore. Uh, what else? I did set one trade that was completely emotion based. That uh, the on the last day, which is this one on Friday, where I got in right here at 11:50 or at 10:50 for the write down, and I set a stop at around $600 for the I bought an option for I believe 1700, and I set a stop at 1200, which would be a $500 loss because I wanted to write it down to 1,000. But when this pushed back up, the premium on those uh, on that option just spiked, and it went below the 1200 stop that I had, and it ended up just pushing me out and then flushing back down, which would have been a pretty decent trade. I would have at least made, I would say, half of what I lost throughout this whole uh, week of trading Tesla. Honestly, that was just emotion, and I could have, if it was a day trade, I could have probably made the stop a little bit wider, because this little pop right here didn't actually break anything uh, major. It didn't. It was just a pull. It was just people taking profit, a small amount of profit before it just flushed over again. So yeah, uh, that's all about. That's all the stuff that went on with Tesla this week. Hopefully next week we'll see how the market does. Well, I don't know if it's gonna keep on flushing or it's gonna finally bounce. I don't think it's gonna bounce. I mean, it did hold the 50, so it might be a reversal. Hmm. I would have to see another candle in this range consolidate. Maybe a close above the 21 would indicate we're at least gonna hit the high again. We'll see. But yeah, that's the wrap up for the week.